Welcome to Megazord Radio. It's the podcast where we recap and rank episodes of the Power Rangers television franchise. I am your host, Riely, joined by my wonderful co-host, Mr. Nightster.
Hello, everybody.
The special day today, the
Oh yeah,
first recap and rank 'em up episode. Every time we finish a season, we're just gonna sit down. We're gonna talk about the season as a whole, how we felt about it, and then we got some ranking to do.
here we do. I'm
So
excited.
Nightster, how do you want to tackle this? You want to get to the numbers first? Do you want to start with a more general discussion?
I think it would make more sense to start with the general discussion because we can talk about how we feel about the season, how it compares to the other seasons that we've already seen on our own, and then kind of go from there. I think that makes
That's
the most
fair.
sense.
So Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, I think I can start us off pretty succinctly, because I have actually written pretty cohesive summary of my thoughts on the season because I do have my personal document where I'm ranking all the Power Rangers seasons as I watch them. So Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, out of the 19 seasons I've seen, which is every Power Ranger season besides Samurai, Megaforce, and Ninja Steel, um, I ranked it 13th. Right above, I guess just give some perspective, it's right above Jungle Fury and right below SPD. So, as for the little blurb I wrote about it, it's the end of Power Rangers as we know it. Did they stick the landing? Well, maybe not as much as you would hope at the end of a 30-year television series, but still extremely solid. I was
Yeah.
already mostly sold on the Dino Fury cast, and this show served to give them a bit more time to shine and make me even more attached to them. This show also had plenty of legacy aspects, the most exciting of which is Billy's return as a mentor, which, while a bit underwhelming, was still welcome and enjoyable. There's also Zed as a returning villain, who I'm conflicted on overall. He had strong moments, but him falling for Bajilia's plan is unfortunate and paints him out to be less than competent. Plus, I haven't yet decided whether Master Zed is awesome or terrible, as we discussed previously. It's complicated. The show's main point of suffering is its neutered episode count. If we got more time for casual character exploration, something that's pretty essential for me in Power Rangers, we might be looking at a higher rank. Overall, I wish it was more, but Cosmic Fury did its best with what little it was given, and I walked away satisfied.
Hey, I feel like you wrote a little thing for that way before we started this, and I probably should have as well, but I didn't.
No, but I just had that. I just happened to have that, so I figured I would share it.
That's fair. Okay,
Because
well,
separately from this, I have my little ranking where I wrote a little blurb about how I feel about each season. And Cosmic Fury went on that list, so I figured I would share that thought. So I'm sorry that mine were much more cohesive than yours probably are going to be. But go ahead and let us know how you felt about this season.
well, okay, I haven't got anything written out for like my thoughts, so anything that I'm gonna say is just me going off the top of my head, probably rambling a bit. But when it comes to Cosmic Fury, I liked how it was a continuation of Dino Fury, but it was its own thing. Like most of the super seasons, they didn't need to be separate seasons. They could just
No, I feel
been
like Cosmic Fury, it doesn't quite feel that way because it's 10 episodes. But what they're going for, and I kind of appreciate this. This is Zeo is what they're doing. Then this is Cosmic Fury is the Zeo to Dino Fury's Mighty Morphin, and that's what they're trying to do. And I like that, and I think it was executed okay, but it would have been a lot better if they gave it a few more episodes.
it would have been. That is like its biggest flaw, and the fact that it's got so few episodes. I did enjoy seeing some old characters return, like Billy, Heckle, Zed. Rita for a bit. I'll
Rita
be
for
honest,
1 second.
for one second, I was happy to see her when she showed up. Uh, and then you had little cameos from, but non-speaking roles from Alpha and Min, which are quite nice. Uh, the story, I mean, I didn't love how they tackled the story, but I didn't hate it. It was just another, hey, there's another threat here, but it happens to be Zed again,
I
and
actually really enjoyed the story. It's the thing where like it could have been stronger, but I can't really identify my problem with it. Well, I guess it's just the modern Power Rangers kiddiness syndrome. Like the Power Rangers has had this problem since the Neo Saban era where they're just they started skewing younger, frankly. Like they started aiming for a younger audience. And Cosmic Fury has isolated moments where that does not feel like it's the case, such as when Javi loses his fucking arm.
yeah, that shocked me the first time I saw it.
But
Like,
for the most part, this season still suffers from those failings, and I think that's what kind of holds it back. It's like this fun, kind of Star Trek-ish Power Ranger story, much like Power Rangers in Space and like Power Rangers Lost Galaxy are. But it's done in a
dang,
more it's even more similar to a Star Trek because it's more like serialized and like slimmed down as compared to Power Rangers in Space and Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, which are 50 episodes of mostly filler. Which I guess Star Trek also does that, but
yeah,
but regardless, it was a more like streamlined like space exploration story, and I enjoyed it, but like it could have been a lot more than it was.
yeah. Like, I don't, I don't want to get the wrong idea across by saying, "Oh, I didn't enjoy it," because I did. I thoroughly enjoyed the show, but there's just so much more that it could have been. I feel like than actually was, and if it had that longer runtime, it really could have stood out and been everything that it could have been.
Yeah,
And I think, well,
that's gonna be the main failing. That's gonna be the besmirchment on this show's legacy for all time is that Hasbro only found it in their greedy little corporate pockets to produce. Only found it in the interest of their greedy little corporate pockets to produce 10 episodes of this show, and as a result, there's so much left on the table. Like so many characters didn't get like anything. And Amelia,
yeah,
The
I was
Red
actually about to say
Ranger.
that. Yeah, Amelia, the one color for Rangers that always has too much focus in a lot of people's eyes didn't get enough. Like, it
I
was the
will
first.
say though, Cosmic Fury is. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You first.
Like, it was the first time we got a like proper female Red throughout the entire series, and it was a character that we'd already known and most of us loved because of Dino Fury. So I thought that her being Red in Cosmic Fury was going to be so good. We get a lot more character development. It was going to be one of the best Reds we've ever gotten, personally. But no, they just kind of fucked it by not giving us anything with her.
No,
So,
it's just like they're like allergic to focusing on girls the most. Like I think Cosmic Fury was extremely effective in splitting the focus. Like I guess that's kind of a benefit of 10 episodes is there's not anybody who feels like they're overly skewed in their focus cuz they had to split focus between 6 characters in 10 episodes, so they had to do it all at once. So it's so it's the focus is distributed better than it usually is, which is interesting. But if you had to choose a character who's focused on the most, it's either Ion or Zato. Like it's a guy because they always have to focus on a guy.
yeah. And I feel like they really didn't need to focus on Zato that much because he was the Red last season. He had plenty of focus before. So giving him even stronger focus in Cosmic Fury just seemed unnecessary when you had a
Well,
perfectly Red to focus on.
Well, you would think that, and I would agree. I would have agreed with you going into Cosmic Fury if you told me Cosmic Fury is going to focus on Zato more. I'd be like, why? But then I watched Cosmic Fury, and Zato's storyline in Cosmic Fury is really good. Like I went through most of the early parts of Cosmic Fury and like leading into this, thinking I knew pretty much how the character ranking was gonna look, unless the Crow Royalty fought me out of things, which I'm sure they would have, and I'm sure you might. But now I'm not so sure because both of the characters that I was certain were going to be the bottom two had amazing arcs this season.
Yeah, I can't pretend that they didn't have good arcs because they did. Although I do love Ion as a character.
Yeah, Ion is great. When I say the two, I'm actually referring to I or not Ion, Zato and Ollie.
Oh, Ollie.
Yeah, because I was certain they were going to be the bottom two. Now I'm not so sure because they both were so good this season.
They were great this season. Like, especially Ollie, I feel like.
Yeah, Ollie was who he should be in this season. Like he's such a good Kai Moya is a much better villain actor than he is a hero actor.
He
Or
is.
or at the very least the personality he's portraying for Ollie is better suited for a villain than for a hero.
Like he's got that smug attitude as a villain, which just suits so well. And I'm not sure if there's anything really you could say about his character as a hero that stands out to say, oh yeah, this really works in his favor. But
He's
as a
like
villain, you can say that.
he's likable as like a member of the friend group, right? Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of Power Rangers fall into this category where like as individual people they're not that interesting, but they're not unwelcome in the team dynamic. And that's how I feel about Ollie. Like as a character, like uninteresting, was unlikable at first, but then I came around to the point where I'm like, yeah, I enjoy his interactions with the rest of the cast somewhat.
Yeah. I definitely do enjoy some of his interactions, but I feel like he was one of the weaker links of the team when he was with them, but he was one of the stronger villains when he was with Zed. In fact, I'd go so far to say he was the strongest villain in the season.
Mm, I mean,
If we
Med
just go by,
second
like,
strongest, I would say probably. I'd assume Master Zed is stronger than
I
Ollie.
don't mean strength. I mean like as far as characters go.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I mean,
obviously then, yeah.
if we only go by what we see in Cosmic Fury, Ollie is, you know, number one villain.
I mean, he is the number one villain, but that's not necessarily saying a whole lot because
No,
this
it's not.
season was unfortunately a little weak on the villain side. Like
Yeah,
I enjoyed Sculia as a character, kind of, but even then, I kind of got tired of her shtick. Which the co-royalty is gonna be fucking laughing and slapping his knees and saying "I told you so" about that. I still like her overall, but it's just like it got a little old. And then Vigilia was nothing. Vigilia was 100% nothing. Zed is just it's unfortunate that Robert Axelrod is no longer alive because he's very kid show villain, the uninteresting sort of personality. Like he's not terrible, the voice actor. Like I don't hate it. Obviously, Robert Axelrod is dead, so you can't get Robert Axelrod. So as a result, this is fine because it's hard to find like generational talent like Robert Axelrod, but like it's nowhere near as good as Zed used to be, unfortunately.
yeah. But Zed was pretty decent in this season. Like he wasn't a bad character.
Oh no,
He wasn't.
I was happy to see him again. The suit looks really good. I don't. A lot of people try to tell me it's just the suit, which it can't be because the suit has to be like wear and teared and fucked up by now. So it had to have been a new suit, but it was extremely accurate and nice.
Oh, definitely. He wasn't at his strongest, but I feel like that's because of um, you know, the the change in writers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
the change in it is the change in writers, that it is also the change in voice actors, which is not the guy's
yeah.
fault.
No, it's not his fault. But he was given stuff to work with as Zed, and he genuinely did his best.
He did his best, and it was fun. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was a good time. It was like Zed. I would say it's equivalent in quality to like Zed at his worst in season two, which is not saying much because he never gets bad. Because I enjoy season two the whole time, but there's a point where we just kind of settle into a malaise between when he shows up and when he marries Rita, where he just kind of hangs out with Goldar on Serpentera and talks shit, and he doesn't really amount to much. That's what this Zed feels like. Like it's somewhat enjoyable that he's sitting in Serpentera and talking shit to Goldar, but like he's just not a super interesting character beyond that. And I feel like Cosmic Fury Zed is very similar.
Yeah, uh, pretty much. I will say I do have my own opinion on Master Zed. Like I know you said that you are not sure if you like it or hate it,
Cause it's
but
like it's so cool, but like it's not Zed. And like I don't know if Zed needed an upgrade, because Lord Zed is just like he's not overly gaudy, but he's just like so sleek and well designed that it's like you don't need to change this. This is perfect.
it suits his character to want to be stronger and more powerful because that's always what he's wanted, more power.
That's true. That's fair.
And that's what he got, but he only got it briefly and he had to give it up in order to survive. And I do like the design and I feel like the choice he made and the um like lengths he took to get there kind of do fit his character. So personally, I liked the whole Master Z thing. I don't care what people say about it. I liked it.
I will say it is very Super Shredder.
Oh yeah.
If you
Uh
showed me Master Zed and told me it was Super Shredder from a new Ninja Turtles thing, I would believe you.
yeah, there's some striking similarities.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of more to say about this season.
Uh,
Again, the character arcs of I feel like it was mostly Zato, Ollie, and Ion that were like focused on character arc wise. I guess Izzy and Fern too, and
yeah.
Harvey. Well, they focused on everybody pretty well, except for ironically, except for their
Yeah.
Red Ranger.
Which still pisses me off to
Yeah,
no ends.
because she's great. She's
She
probably
is.
gonna go at the top of our Ranger ranking. It's gonna be really hard to justify, considering we're not allowed to talk about Dino Fury. But it's unfortunate that she didn't get more because she's so good.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like when it comes to talking about things in this season, there's the elephant in the room that we haven't discussed yet, which I'm surprised we haven't.
Okay, what's the elephant?
Let's talk suits.
Yeah.
I mean, they just grab the Ryu soldier helmets and slap them on like completely bare suits with a
don't
tiny little dragon shield.
don't
No,
Amelia and Fern have the same helmet or something? Or Amelia or Fern and someone have the same helmet, just
that's
spray
Fern
painted
and
a different color. It
if it's Fern and Izzy, that might make sense.
definitely is not Izzy because I know her helmet is a dinosaur and Izzy's is a tiger.
Cosmic Fury helmets. Uh,
Because Fern is the Solon Ranger, which is weird.
yeah, she is the Solon Ranger.
Which I was gonna say that's like if there was a Zordon Ranger, but I guess maybe that's what Zato was.
Closest I can see is I think Zato?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what Zeta was.
Like Zato and Fern have the same sort of thing, except
Oh, you're saying helmet. Okay.
yeah, like they look pretty similar.
I thought it was literally the same between her and Amelia, but I was misled.
No, because Fern has the little horn above the visor, and Amelia
Mm,
doesn't have that.
okay. Okay.
I mean, a lot of Ranger helmets are pretty freaking similar.
It's
Like,
true.
look at the in space helmets.
Yeah, that's
They're
fair.
they're all the same. It's just different colors, and they reused them in SPD. They just
But
gave them a little
regardless,
vent at the top.
yeah, it's just a different little thing. But yeah, the suits in Cosmic Fury, a little underwhelming. The muscle padding is stupid.
I will say though, I'm not. I don't hate Ion's suit in Cosmic Fury. Like, I'm not. I'm not as big on it as I am on his Dino Fury suit, obviously. But compared to the other Rangers, I I don't hate it as much.
I also don't mind Zato. Like, I feel like it's just the primary colors that suffer mostly. Ion and Zato look pretty okay.
Yeah, well, Zeto's got the like metal padding or like other metal plates on his sides and the cape because he's like the master.
He's the Zenith Ranger, yeah.
And he's a morphin master, so he gets that special treatment. But
It's true. He is a Morphin Master now, which is fucking crazy.
and I think where Ion shines is the fact that he's got his like blue arms. There's some color clashing which works pretty well for him, which and the other Rangers don't have. It's just one block of color. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about this show is you can't say that most of the you probably still could say that most of the Ranger suits suck. But the fortunate thing is there's a couple Power Rangers from other seasons where the suits don't suck that are in the show. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
like Billy and Heckle are in there, and
And Mick,
Min briefly, and Mick. I forgot about Mick.
good old Mick. Mick,
We
who
should
only ranked today because we decided to count co-royalty, so I'm glad we did.
yeah,
Mick
and
would
we
have
should
been
really
the only Morph Power Ranger not to rank, which would have been tragic. I guess
and
besides Min, but she didn't talk.
we should really discuss him as well
Okay,
because
Mick, what about?
like the fact that he came back for like how many seasons was he in now? Because obviously
Kelson Henderson or Boom? Boom. Fucking
Mick,
40 and
because
slip. Mick.
Kelson Henderson has been in a bunch of seasons, like freaking SPD, Mystic Force. Um, I swear it's been in others.
He was in pretty much every Disney season except for
Oh yeah,
Ninja Storm and
Overdrive. He was in Dino
Ninja Storm and
Thunder.
RPM. Yeah. Ninja Storm and RPM are the only Disney seasons he was not in.
Yeah, so he's been in the game for a long time, but Mick, I made his debut in Ninja Steel, I think. I think he came back in Beast Morphers.
He definitely did. He was in a Beast Morphers.
Not sure if he was in Dino Fury.
Wait. No. He was not in a Beast Morphers. I'm lying to you. But he was in Dino Fury for sure.
Okay, so he was in Dino Fury, and then he came back for Cosmic Fury. So, Mick as a character has been in a few seasons, but it was nice to see his Ninja Steel suit again.
It's
And-
nice to just have a recurring character. Like that's such new ground for Power Rangers beyond the Zordon era, where it's just like, remember this character? They're in this one too. Like, wow, you mean we're in the same universe? So perhaps a character who still exists might still be involved in the universe's proceedings. That's crazy.
I mean, maybe, and there might be some crossover stuff happening because we have some characters that know the other team. Haha, nope. Even though I'm not really mad about that because I didn't much care for Ninja Steel.
I'm really liking Ninja Steel so far. I think you should give it another shake.
The only characters that I like in Ninja Steel are Preston and Sarah, really.
Let me tell you a secret. They're all good actually, except Levi. Well, Levi isn't bad. He's just nothing. But the
Even
other
Brody?
five are good. Brody, he's definitely number five, but like I still like him.
You're like, it was my understanding that Brody was like not very good.
In my first watch through, I think I was more harsh about his bad acting, which he does have some struggles with acting. But I think overall he's an enjoyable character. I don't have any sort of a hatred in my heart for Brody.
There is a memorable moment for Brody, but I'm not sure if you've gotten to that point yet. So
Yeah,
I
I'm like 3 episodes shy of finishing Ninja Steel regular style.
uh, I'll have to look up the episode number that the scene I'm thinking of appears in, and I'll get back to you on that shortly once I've finished sorting this thing out.
But regardless, yes, this is it's just cool to have like remember this guy who's in this same universe. Here he is. Or
Yeah,
even he's not in this same universe. Heckle shouldn't be, but he's here.
I'm so glad Heckle's back. He was one of my favorite characters in Dino Charge. I just wish he had more in Cosmic Fury.
He was definitely like the thing about human villains always work better in Power Rangers. That's the
Well,
trend.
most
It's like
of the
there have been good monster villains. Have there? Can I think of a bad human villain?
time, Vipra.
Okay, yeah. There's Vipra, but I think she might be literally the only one. As a general rule, human villains in Power Rangers are just extremely effective.
True, they are.
There was a point I was getting at there, and now I forget what it was. What
I have
human
no idea.
villain were we just talking about?
Heckle.
Yes, that's who I was talking about. Yeah, and Heckle, for me, he's on the lower end of that, but he's still good because just like human villains always hit.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be biased because I just really liked his personality.
That's fair. He does kind of strike me as a Doctor Who-ish guy.
Yeah, that's probably
So
why I
yeah.
like him so much. Because I'm the Doctor Who fanatic. Which next week, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Is it next week or is it 2 weeks? It's next week. Holy shit! I'm meeting David Tennant next week, and I'm so excited.
That is really exciting.
So, still, oh my god, I forget his name already.
Brody?
Levi.
Oh, Levi. Levi, who was a dick to his friends, and that's the only reason they didn't die, which is a weird moral for Power Rangers.
I can't say if this is Ninja Steel or Super Ninja Steel.
Whatever, we'll put a pin in it. That could be resolved privately at some point.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. Probably after the we finish recording.
but yeah, the plot of the Halloween episode of Ninja Steel is that the a mysterious board game appears at the school, and the Power Rangers want to play it. But Levi's like, board games are gay. Fuck board games. Go play it without me. So they go play it without him. And it's a secretly a evil board game, and it traps them, and they would have gotten murdered if it weren't for Levi not being trapped and then showing up and jumping in the game to save them. So it's like, is the lesson here that you should be a dick to your friends?
Uh, he must have been so smug about it as well. Just See,
No,
what did I?
he was very apologetic and nice about it, which is the episode trying to pivot and teach the right lesson. But it's just weird that the sequence of events is Levi was an asshole, and due to that, the Power Rangers didn't die.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Uh,
But
so
regardless, Cosmic Fury. What else we got in this season?
well, of course we got Billy, who we haven't spoken too much about.
Yeah, because unfortunately, there's not too much to speak. I wish he got more, but he was good when he was there.
Yeah, he was helping out with all the scientific stuff. I think he made the morphers, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, with Solon's help,
Yeah, him and Solon collaborated.
who she should have been a ranger at some point. I'm sorry, but she just should have.
They
Solon
literally
is
built a Power Ranger based on her, but it was not her.
exactly. It was Fern, which I like Fern, but if you're gonna make a Solon ranger, why not have it be Solon?
Yeah, it's a bit silly, but it happens. Solon was fun this season. Solon also only ranked because of Crow Royalty, and I'm thankful for that because Solon deserves to rank. Unfortunately, she never highlighted an episode for me, but she was really good this season. I really liked when
Solon,
she turned big.
yeah, she kind of felt like a motherly figure to characters like Zato, especially. Like during Zato's final goodbye, Solon's "My brave boy." I was like, yeah, that's your son at this point.
Yeah, it is really sweet. She is a mama dino.
Yeah, she's the mama dino. She reminds me of one of our close friends.
True.
Uh, so we're talking about Solon, Billy, Heckle, all of the team, the suit, the story, the villains. Oh, we could talk about the Zords.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't really talk about the Zords. The Zords, you see, it's real hard for Zords to be memorable for me, especially when there's a million of them. And this season is one of the biggest offenders of there's a million of them. So
Yeah,
they're
because they
not
use the Key Ranger Zords.
so they're not quite highlights to me, with one particular exception, the Cosmic Dragon Zord, which fucking kicks
The
ass.
best Zord in the season. Fucking A tier. Like S tier even. What am I saying A tier for? That's a crime against the Zord.
The Cosmic Dragon Zord might be in my top 10 Zords, just in
Of all
general.
of all time.
Yes.
Wow.
The Cosmic Dragon Zord is so fucking cool.
If I just look at all the seasons, I wonder how many Zords I can think of in each season that I like more than that. Because there's definitely at least two that I can think of off the top of my head. Uh,
I can think of two Dragon Zords that I like better, but as it turns out, Dragon Zords are just really good. So they're all in the top 10.
hold on. The two that I'm thinking of are Dragon Zords. Are they the same Dragon Zords?
I don't know, are they the original Dragon Zord and the Red Dragon Thunder Zord?
Okay, no, one of them is the same. Do you have a Dragon Zord which doesn't really look like a dragon, but it's called the Dragozord? Is
Oh
Trent.
yeah, Trent has the Drago Zord.
So my Morphin, the a Dragon Zord, obviously, Nun and Zeo, or aliens, Turbo, Space, Galaxy, High Speed Time. Well, I do really like Alyssa's Tiger Zord.
It's pretty good. Wild
Uh,
Force has some pretty sick Zords in
It
general.
does have good Zord. I just really like the whole tiger vibe of Alyssa's.
The soccer armadillo and the
Oh,
rhino, that was awesome.
phenomenal, phenomenal.
The Bear
The,
Brothers,
the Falcon,
solid. Falcon, yeah,
Merrick,
Wild Force had good Zords. All of Merrick's Zords, the fucking
yeah,
shark, the crocodile, and the wolf.
man, they're so good, but not above the Cosmic Dragon, sadly. Ninja Storm was phenomenal for Zords. Jesus Christ.
Was it really?
I liked them. You
They're
had the
fine, but I wouldn't call it phenomenal.
you had the hawk, the dolphin, the lion. The other three are kind of weak, in my opinion. I'm not too big on the whole
Then
massive
there's Bug
car.
1, Bug 2, and Helicopter.
Yeah, but the other three were pretty good.
Yeah, it's fair.
Dino Thunder was so good.
I like the Megazord designs a lot in Ninja Storm, but I guess the individual Zords don't really stand out to me
Yeah,
in
that's
my
probably
mind.
why I like them so much. And the whole um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the niche, not the niche. The concept of them putting the power discs into the thing,
I think
and
gimmick
then
was the word you're looking for.
gimmick. Yeah, um, the power discs, and then the chest pops up or pops open, and then a weapon slides out, like the sword. And then the Thunder Rangers even stole one of them when they were evil.
Locked and dropped.
And the Thunders are raining it down for a touchdown. Okay, I need to AFK for a
Ninja
second.
Storm Ninja Storm was so 2003. What did you say?
I need to AFK because
Okay.
I'll mute and then I'll be back soon.
We'll be back right now, folks.
Okay, I've completely forgotten what we're talking about.
Oh, me too.
Oh, great.
I mean, we're talking about I think we were in the general category of Zords. I recall that.
Oh, yeah, the Zords that beat out
Cosmic Dragon, yeah, yeah,
Cosmic
yeah.
Dragon. Okay, Dino Thunder was good for Zords. I think we're on that. The Brachiozord was good, but didn't do anything. Dragozord obviously beats it. Other three are good, but don't beat it. Actually, Dimetrozord.
True.
I know it. I know it's not everyone's favorite, but it's my favorite of the auxiliary Zords. So Dimetro. SPD. No really good Zords there apart from the base.
It is funny
Mystic.
that it's pretty cool that the base is a Zord. That's true.
It is really funny. It's kind of like the season's Ultra Zord. Which, by the way, going back to Dino Thunder, missed opportunity to not have the Brachiozord be like an Ultra Zord type thing.
Yeah, all it does is walk in. That's all it fucking does.
Like, what's the point of it? I mean, oh
It's
yeah,
no point. It's
it transports the Zords, but
It transports
yeah,
the Zords that were already transporting themselves prior to the introduction of the Brachiozord.
yeah, like every time the Rangers summoned the Zords, they would just pop up in a matter of seconds. And now it takes even longer because they have to wait until the Brachiozord shows up, opens the doors, and then they can run out. If anything, the Brachiozord is hindering them.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's lucky it's got such a cool design.
I can only assume, my only assumption is that maybe the Brachiozord was always required in Abba Ranger, and they just like didn't introduce it right away in Dino Thunder for whatever reason.
I have no idea. I just know that I love how it looks and I hate how it functions.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's pretty bad.
Uh, Mystic Force was amazing for Zords, but
Yeah.
none of them. Do any of them beat out the Cosmic Dragon? Maybe the Garuda. No, it's close, but no. And I'm sorry, but the Overdrive Zords aren't shit in comparison.
You know, I have no strong feelings about the swords.
Jungle Fury Zords were so cool. Ah, but no. Maybe the Wolf. RPM, no. Samurai, no. Megaforce. I don't know if they use the Gokai Galleon in Super Megaforce.
They surely do.
Okay,
The
I'm gonna
Gokai
say that.
Galleon is part of the Megazord, isn't it? They would have had to have used it.
True. Okay, I'll give the Galleon um a spot above the Cosmic Dragon simply because of its ties to Gokaiger. Uh, Dino Charge. Mm, probably the weakest of the dinosaur Zords, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of them really beat it out.
Well, I don't really remember Ryu Soldier's Zords.
Oh, true, the Dino Fury Zords.
Yeah, I feel like I like the Dino Charge Zords more than the Dino Fury Zords.
Okay, yeah, I honestly I agree. I just forgot about them. That's the thing, they're so forgettable. Uh, Ninja Steel. The hell, what even were those Zords on
I
their
like
own?
those Zords.
Ah, the little flying things.
Little flying things. Is it Zords they get later?
Oh, but there's some pictures of flying things.
Brody has the red bot. Haley has the dog. Calvin has the truck. Who are the other Digisteel Power Rangers? Preston had a dragon. And Sarah
Ah.
had a train.
Okay, yeah, no, I do like those Zords, especially the train.
Also, I'm sorry for forgetting Sarah's name briefly. She is my favorite ranger in that season. I'm just a little tired.
How dare you? Beast Morphers. Um, Beast Morphers Zords. I forget those as well.
They were okay. Nothing to write home about.
Oh yeah, just vehicles. Uh, Not better than the dragon. Uh, the Dino Fury Zords. I don't think any of them are gonna beat it out. Nah, they don't. So there's four Zords at maximum that beat it for me. So it's in my top five.
There you go. Shout out to the Cosmic Dragon Sword.
Top five Zords of all time. Cosmic Dragon.
All right, is there anything we want to touch on else before we move on from the recap part to the rank 'em up part?
Okay, so have we discussed all of the major show beats? Like, oh, we've touched on
Oh,
the
I will
character.
say, the supporting characters from Dino Fury get zero focus here, pretty much. Like Tarek gets a little, Pop Pop gets a little, the Garcias get almost nothing. The so that's the Jane and Jay Borg get a couple little things. It's
I
so it's
thought only gets one little thing.
so it's unfortunate for Dino Fury side characters, especially I will say I am extremely disappointed that we never got to see Mr. Garcia find out that Izzy and Javi were Power Rangers.
Yeah, that was. I thought they would have in this
I
season.
was real that I was expecting that to come in the finale, and the fact that it didn't was shocking.
Yeah.
I was almost expecting a countdown to destruction moment in the finale, where like there's a crowd and they get unmorphed, but such did not occur.
Oh, like the whole "I am the Red Ranger"
Not even
scene.
that. Not even that. That would be cool. They did do that in Mystic Force too, and that was great. But I'm more saying the aspect of just like there's a gathered crowd watching the final battle, and they get demorphed, and you get to see everybody be like, "Oh, it's them."
Oh, I see. Yeah, that would have been a cool moment, especially for like any of the Ranger parents that didn't know. Which I think is literally only Mr.
It's
Garcia.
only the Garcias, and that's the one I'm most interested in. I would like to see Mr. Garcia's reaction to them being Power Rangers. Because he's the only one that I could see having like a nuanced reaction that's not quite positive. Because, like, we all knew how Pop Pop was going to react. We all knew how fucking the Miss Akana, Dr. Akana, was going to react.
Yeah.
I feel like Mr. Garcia is the only one where it's like, I don't know where he's going to fall on this.
And we never even find out because he never finds out.
Yeah.
uh, Talk about Zords. How about weapons? What are we thinking
Um,
of the Cosmic
yeah, I
Fury?
guess we didn't talk about the weapons, and the weapons are actually pretty cool. I like the weapons.
I really love Ion's Moser Blaster.
Moza Blaster's cool, but nothing will ever top the fucking guitar axe for me. I fucking love the guitar axe.
I do really love basically all of them. Like I love daggers as weapons, so that was pretty cool for Izzy, and it makes sense because
Is
it kind of resembles the
Izzy did immediately reduce a monster to ash with those daggers, so pretty good daggers.
yeah, and it kind of resembles like a saber-toothed tiger's fangs, which is why I always love dagger weapons for tiger rangers.
Yeah, I think that's the logic behind it. It does make sense.
Then you have Fern's Chuck claw weapon, which is bloody awesome. Like it's kind of like nunchucks, but they turn into a long spear with so long claws.
It's
Which is
almost like a weaponized rake a little bit, which
yeah,
is weird, but it's pretty cool.
it's weird but cool. Amelia has the hammer, which is quite nice, a bit brute strength, pretty good. Um, Ollie's blaster, man, that was good.
Solid blaster for sure.
I'm not sure if this counts, but Zato has the
Has his
Morphin
Morphin
Master
Master
staff.
Staff, yeah.
So, oh, and of course, there's the fact that their morphers are also weapons because they function as blasters.
That's true.
And that combination, like that cannon that, that they turn their weapons into, which always confused me when it comes to the like the barrel of that cannon. Like, where did that red thing come from? Because that's not part of Amelia's hammer.
No, it's quite strange. Shit, I was gonna say something. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna bother me forever if I can't remember. Damn it.
We were talking about weapons before.
Weapons, weapons, weapons. Vipples.
Vepus.
Vipples. It's not coming back.
Oh no. The
I should have
morpher,
interrupted you.
maybe?
I made the active decision to not interrupt you, and then I forgot what I was gonna say.
Why didn't you
Oh,
interrupt
you
me?
jogged it. You jogged it. Morpher, Morpher. We talked about the Morpher blaster. And
Yes.
I wanted to know your opinion on this particular trend in Power Rangers I've noticed, where I don't know if you ever drew across the dotted line on this one, but it almost seems like Power Rangers has made this strange decision to like, so they had civilian powers for a while, and they're like, okay, so we want the Power Rangers to be able to put up a fight before they're Power Rangers, but we no longer want to pay for the CGI necessary to give them civilian powers. So instead, we are going to give them access to their Power Rangers weapons and/or make their Morpher weapon when they're civilians. How do you feel about that? And did you notice that sort of shift?
I didn't notice it, but I do like that they have a means of protection outside of being morphed, and that it's not always civilian powers because it kind of is how um what a coincidence that this team also has civilian powers and this team has them and this team has them and they're all given throughout different ways. But so it makes more sense to have the weapons like that. But I do miss the civilian powers because I love them. They were so good.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, it was like I never hated them, but I kind of had the thought of these are kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, and some of them, like you mentioned this at one point before, uh, um, give the question of are the Rangers actually stronger when they're morphed?
Yeah, why
Because
would you morph? Super speed breaks everything. The thing about super speed is it's the most overpowered power ever by far. When you give a character super speed, it's over. Like, why would Connor ever morph? He could beat any monster by just like punching it 8,000 times before it has a chance to blink.
Like, okay, so if we go through the seasons with civilian powers, which I think started with Dino Thunder, am I wrong about that?
It did. I mean, Ninja Storm had the ninja powers, so I guess technically it started with Ninja Storm.
Yeah, but they also have access to their ninja powers in their ranger forms. Is the difference.
True, yeah, fair.
So Connor super speed, like you said, broken. Uh, Ethan has super strength, which
Ethan does not have super strength. I don't know why you
oh,
keep saying this. He has the shield. He's the
uh,
ultimate shield, like Full Metal Alchemist. His skin turns into Tricera scales, and it blocks attacks.
he punches.
And he
Um,
also punches, so I guess it's kind of it's.
it's a
I
mix of
guess
the two. 'Cause
I
he
guess you could
punches
call it
with
super strength a
Tyrannosaurus.
little bit, but like it's not like he doesn't lift things good. He just like punches good.
Like I remember a scene where he like punches a Tyrannodrome and it goes flying. So I'm like, okay, right. So he's got super strength and he's
Yeah, I see where the confusion lies, but it's like he can make his skin Tricera scales, and that's harder than regular skin, which means it does better defense and it does better attack because it's harder.
I guess the question therein lies: is that um res- resistance stronger than the resistance he gets in
I'm
his
gonna
sword?
guess no. I would believe that Ethan is more proficient morphed than unmorphed,
Okay, so
as would
E-
I'd say about Gira and
yeah,
Trent.
because Kira only really gets um like a high pitched scream that sends people flying back,
Yeah,
which is
Dino Thunder.
good.
It's basically only Connor. Thinking about the rest of them.
Well, Trent, I can see your point because he only gets camouflage, but friggin' Tommy, he gets full invisibility, and if
It's
you
not
think
that
about it,
it's not that hard to deal with invisibility.
it's
You just
kind of
like
broken
you,
because
you
you're
just like
fighting.
take your shirt off and throw it at him. Like I've seen enough cartoons to know that invisibility is actually not that hard to deal with. You just got to put something on him.
If you can find them first.
Well, the assumedly he would be hitting you, and at that point you're like, all right, he's over there, and you just quickly like, maybe you've got some paint or something lying around. If not, you can just use like a piece of clothing. You take it off, throw it on
Pain is
him.
Pain is a good option, but if it's something like clothes, then he can just take that off him.
Well, yeah, but at least that'll give you a chance to get a hit in, and maybe
True.
figure out a more permanent solution.
True. Okay. SPD was the next one to have civilian powers that aren't useful outside of not being morphed, and it was only the core five. So let's get those. Jack can phase through walls right off the bat.
I mean, definitely
It's
very
useful,
useful, but
but
not.
not
I
like
could see the use of morphing also in that
yeah.
scenario.
Sky can just make electric force fields in the air. He still needs to morph, but that's useful outside
Yeah,
of it.
SPD I think is good. Like the civilian powers are all like things that are useful in their own right, but it's easy to justify being Power Rangers instead.
There's one exception to that, in my opinion, and we'll get to that
Okay.
soon. But I feel like what you're talking about, I feel Overdrive is the best season for that.
Overdrive's pretty good for that, yes, but I think SPD is pretty good too, but I'm curious what your one exception is. Oh, I know what your one exception is actually. Never mind. I'm not curious anymore. I figured it out.
Bridge predicts the future, so that's useful, but it's not like take away the morpher worthy. Sid, um, she's a weaker version of Kevin from Ben 10. Like she grabs iron and then her hand turns into iron. Stuff like that.
Interesting.
And yes, Z is my exception.
Yeah.
Because she can duplicate herself as many times as she wants. Those clones can attack, and if you try to attack those clones, they do not feel it. It just goes right through them. Z is overpowered.
Yeah, Z's pretty broken, you're right.
He's overpowered. Overdrive Rangers. I don't know all of them too well, so you might have to remind me.
And then Mystic Force is another Ninja Storm case where I guess they kind of had civilian powers in that they had magic, but they also had that when they were morphed.
Exactly, so that's why I skipped over them. I'm right onto Overdrive, which I think is the last one. Maybe?
Have we not had civilian powers since Overdrive? I think you're right.
Because after Overdrive, you had Jungle Fury, who didn't. RPM
No, Jungle
did
Fury. Jungle Fury had like. Well, it's another Ninja Storm case where it's like they could do animal spirit bursts in civilian form, but they could also do that in Ranger form.
Exactly. RPM had nothing. Samurai had the symbol power, which they could use in Ranger form, so that's another Ninja Storm thing. Megaforce, nothing. Dino Charge. Did they?
No, Dino Charge. Well, Samurai is kind of when the weapon thing soft started, but Dino Charge is when it got real and the weapon became the Morphers, which then continued.
Well,
in every other season after that, I think, except for maybe Dino Fury.
yeah, because for some reason, they couldn't just have the swords be the morphers, which I know they weren't the morphers in Ryu Soldier, but
They should have just been the Morphers. I agree with you.
in Ninja Steel they had they'd made up a whole new morpher when in Ninja, and the morpher was the sword.
Has there ever been a sword morpher in Power Rangers?
No, never.
That's insane. A sword morpher would kick ass.
It would, and it did in Ninja. Cause like,
and the morphing sequence could be sick because you could slice a dimensional rift with your sword, and then you go in there and it turns you into a Power Ranger.
And that could be an amazing look for. I'm not sure if there's a term for it, but you know when they don't show the morphing sequence, but they have it happen in the overworld.
Yeah, the overworld morphs.
Yeah, that would look thick. Just slice like a fabric of reality thing, step inside, and then you're morphed. That's so sick.
Well, Hasbro, if you ever re-sign with Toei and decide to adapt King Oger, go ahead and take that idea.
Yeah. And we will take 10% of the profit for the idea?
I'll take 5%. That's fine. You know, I'm not a greedy man.
Oh, we'd have to share it though, because we both.
Yeah, you're right. 10%.
10% do 5 each. Okay, so Mac. What did Mac have?
Super strength.
Super strength, yeah. So the question again lies...
Which again, so that becomes because Overdrive might have an excuse. Because I don't think an unmorphed Power Ranger ever drives the Zords. There's one civilian power we forgot because you've never seen it because it's in one episode and they get rid of it. But I've told you about it before. Another Ranger way back had super strength for one episode. A young boy by the name of Justin Stewart. And
oh yeah, you did tell me.
he had super strength induced by a mysterious ant that we never get an explanation for why it gives him super strength, which is funny.
It's weird as well. Like an ant gives you strength.
But he become well. It makes sense, like concept wise, because it's a thing about ants that they can lift like 1,000 times their body weight or whatever. But
No, true.
like, regardless,
Ant-Man.
so he gets bitten by the ant. He becomes Ant Man,
Oh my
and
god, it's like the Ant-Man version of Spider-Man.
yep. So he becomes Ant Man, and he has super strength, and he like absolutely trucks some Piranhatrons with his super strength. But what he realizes is he can't morph. There's something about like the density of his like body that has been like warped, and now the morpher just won't work. And it's like, okay, but he has this like amazing super strength, and like in the movie they drive the Zords without morphing. So if he can drive his Zord, and I assume that his newfound density will allow him to survive the Megazord sequence before you use the Hurricaneger excuse. uh, but it's just weird. Like super strength, very. It's debatable, I guess, what's better between super strength and Power Ranger, but it's just like you can drive. Like it's they treated it like, well, I have to be a Power Ranger to protect the Earth, and it's like, no, not really, because you could drive the Zord without morphing, so just do that.
Yeah, but um, when it comes to like the Zordless fights, um, and the question is it better to be a ranger or have your super strength? A big question that comes into play is your super strength that you get from your civilian power stronger than your super strength that the suit gives you? And if so, by how much? And is it worth losing your weapons and the protective um properties of the suit? That's what
Yeah, that's the
that's the
big
big.
question. Really, this whole quest was fruitless, and what we've learned is pretty much most civilian powers do make sense. There's one offender, maybe two. Did Ronnie also have super speed? What was Ronnie's power?
um Operation Overdrive, Ronnie power. Ronnie civilian power. Okay, next we're giving her the power of, and then it just cuts out because I need to click the link.
Yeah,
Thank you, Google, for being
the power of. Just setting up a nice cliffhanger for you.
super speed. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So Ronnie and Connor, those are the two where it's like, why would you ever morph?
and Z, because
And
again,
Z, the three.
like her clones are invincible. All she has to do is like go somewhere where she can't be found, and then let her clones do all the work. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
easy.
true. Right, I think we've gone deep into tangent land. I think it's time to get to the numbers.
All right, dead meat.
Yeah, I did. I was wondering if you get that reference. I forgot if you knew of Dead Meat.
I do know dead meat. I watch all of his videos.
Okay, so first of all, this is a feature that is not actually very interesting this time around due to the lack of episodes. It will be a lot more interesting in the future, but we're introducing it here because it's going to be a staple feature of the recap and rank 'em up. And that is the mathematical character ranking, in which characters are assigned point values based on how many times they were given they were given favorite character by you or by me, or in this case by Crow Royalty. And they get points for every time they are picked, and they are ranked based on that. So because there were only 23 points on the board, and we were kind of spreading them around pretty evenly. This basically put our characters into three tiers. So there's three total rankings upon which many people tie in each rank. Not many in all cases, but a few people tie in each rank at least. So
Okay,
I believe, and I guess we'll see, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that every Power Ranger at least ranked.
I believe so.
So number three, each of these characters only got 1 point. That would be Zato, Squilia, Ion, Javi, which I feel like is a crime, Tarek, Heckle, Solon, Slither, and Zed.
Oh, a lot of
And
surprising ones in there.
wait, what'd you say?
A lot of surprising ones to only have one rank.
Yeah, Ion and Javi especially feels kind of weird.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but there were only so many points to go around.
Yeah, Zed to an extent.
Yeah, I never picked Zed. That was you.
Yeah, there was one episode where he um just stood out for me, so
Yeah,
I had
there
to
you
put him
go.
in there.
At least he got to rank. Coming in at number 2, we've got 4 characters. Do you know who they are? Can you guess who are number 2? We got 4 number 2s and 2 number 1s. Can you guess?
Uh, I feel like because of how my brain works, it'll be easier if I just guess the two number ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same guesses either way, but it's just easier to figure out.
Fair.
I'm gonna guess the two number ones are Izzy and Billy.
Only half right.
Izzy and Fern.
There you go. You did
That
it.
is so poetic. Oh my god.
Yeah, so coming in at number 2, we have Mick, Amelia, Billy, and Ollie. And coming in at number 1, they all had 2 points, by the way. And then coming in at number 1 with 3 points each, Izzy and Fern.
Wow.
So that is our mathematical character ranking. Congratulations to the lesbian power couple for being the mathematically best characters in Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. But that does not earn them any favor in the real Ranger ranking, which starts today, folks. That's right. So this is going to be today it's just going to be a ranking of the Cosmic Fury Power Rangers, obviously, but this is going to be a list that is kept for all of Megazord Radio with the goal of ranking every single Power Ranger. But this is our first set, so are you ready to rank them?
I am.
So, how many Rangers are we working with here?
Are we counting the I
We're count
forgot.
we're
Are we
counting
counting
every Power Ranger who appeared and spoke.
Okay, so we have Fury Rangers. So we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Except
and
for
then we have
Billy. Billy, we're not ranking today because we're saving that for Mighty Morphin.
5, 6, 7, Mick and Heckle. So that's
That's
9.
9. We got 9 to rank today.
Yes, we do. And that is
So
oh, sorry.
let's figure this out kind of one at a time. I think I know who the bottom is, and you're not gonna like it, but I think that it's
Ah,
logical.
yeah, I understand why.
Yeah, Heckle didn't do much. Wasn't really consequential. He was cool, but all the Rangers were cool. I think Heckle's got to go at the bottom.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, but he kind of has to here.
So coming in at number 9, Heckle.
Mm.
Next up,
You know how much that freaking pains me?
it does. I'm sorry. He's not. He's gonna be at the bottom now, but I don't think he'll be at the bottom. Obviously, he's not gonna be at the bottom after Zio, and I think
Mm.
many more will go under him after that.
Yeah, it's probably true, but still.
But then there's the next one, and from here it gets like extremely difficult.
It does, because the rest are all really good, but personally, I kind of want to say Zato for number 8.
It's like he literally becomes a Morphin Master and sacrifices his life and like goes through like a complex character arc. Like Zato was really good in this season. Like obviously Russell Curry has some acting struggles, but I think he was really good. So I mean, I was kind of thinking that too, but I didn't want to say it because I don't know.
I mean, it's another case of a Red Ranger, even though he wasn't the Red in this season, who got so much focus that it seemed like the entire season revolved around him again. And
I kind of liked it
he,
though. That's the thing. Like,
he
it
was
was
literally
good.
he was literally made into a god type character, and that wasn't necessary.
No, but it wasn't. I guess it wasn't necessary for Zato, but I think it was necessary for the Morphin Masters to adopt a human element, and I don't necessarily mind that it was Zato.
I guess, but I'm not sure who else would be like below him. Yeah, yeah, below him
I'm
is,
trying to
is
think in my mind, because like realistically, so I think this character might be next either way. You might. I feel like you're definitely gonna try to talk me out of this one. Please don't be meek and not fight me if you want to fight me. But despite the fact that she tied for mathematical best character, Fern didn't really do much.
no. I'm not having that. I'm not. I'm sorry, but I'm not having that.
Like, she can't be that much higher than this, even if we do put her above Zato.
I don't mind if she's quite low, but not second to last, because she literally stood up and said, "You know what? Um, I'm gonna put my neck out there. My girlfriend's risking her life, and they all need help. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna help Solon, and then make sure that everyone's safe. Because if I don't, no one will, and Earth is doomed." She stuck her neck out there when no one else could. All right.
I agree that that's amazing. Like, I agree with you, but consider the following: Fern risked her life. Zato knowingly gave up his life.
That's true. Oh, it's so hard because like they both did similar things, but
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think I just prefer Fern as a character. So I think I'm willing to say Zato's number 8 and Fern is number 7.
yeah, because like I really don't want to put Zato above Fern as a character.
Yeah,
I
no,
just don't.
you make a compelling argument. And then I think next is Ollie. He was a good villain. He was the best villain of the show, and that got him up a couple spaces. But I think this is the time where Ollie takes his seat.
Yeah, as good as a villain as Ollie was, he needed more time to shine as a ranger and as a member of the actual team.
Yeah, and the like one big fight, or I guess he has a couple big fights, but his first big fight as Cosmic Fury Blue, he's like mansplaining to Amelia, and immediately I'm like, ugh. But you know, he did really good as a villain. And I was like glad that he got to be good again, even though his behavior was not appreciated. So yeah, number 6 goes to Ollie. It's getting
Yeah,
real hard. It's getting real hard, boys.
top 5 guys. Here we go.
Who's left on the board? Let's establish who's left on the board because it's a group of titans.
Uh,
We've got Mick left on the board. We've got Amelia, Izzy, Javi, and Ion.
I'm just gonna write down the list so I know. So we have Amelia, Ollie, Izzy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Harvey. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ion, Zato. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Heckle and Mick. And we've already done.
Eccles, Zato, Fern, and Ollie.
Yeah. So Heckle, Zato. Where's Ollie? There he is. Okay, so the next one on the list we have Amelia, Izzy, Harvey, Iron, and Mick. So who did the least?
I mean, The answer to who did the least out of those characters is Mick. But that being said, I don't know if as a character I'm willing to rank Ion above Mick.
No, I mean I like Ion, but Mick is just so much fun. He's Kelson Henderson.
Yes, I think number 5 is Ion. That's plain to see. Then is
Okay.
number 4 Mick, or any of our remaining Fury kids also inferior to Mick?
Hmm. I feel like if it's gonna be any of them, it uh would it though? Because he lost an arm.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
it would be Javi, but Javi had some intense shit this season, and I really like him.
all right. I think Mick goes next in that case.
Yeah, Mick goes next, and then Javi. I do think Javi is the lowest of the 3 remaining Fury kids, but I'm definitely willing to rank him above Mick.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for how intense he was, he'd be below Mick. But
Now you
there was
see,
so much.
this is where the mechanics of we promised to base it on this season and not Dino Fury, which we haven't covered yet, come into play. Because if you ask me overall who's better, Amelia or Izzy, I would say Amelia. But if you ask me who's better in Cosmic Fury, that's a harder question.
Hmm. See, Amelia did um lead her team
She was a great
quite well.
leader. She led her team.
She was a great leader. However, I feel like Izzy did more. Like if you break down um the episodes, she did more things, and there's a reason why she was voted as one of the top two characters in the like episode listings.
Well, the other one is number 7, though, so trust that as far as you can throw it.
True,
But
but
regardless, I see what you're saying, and I agree with all of that. But then I go back to our Ion versus Mick situation, where it's like Ion did more than Mick, but not enough more that justifies me saying that he's a better character. And I think that's the same case here. I think despite Izzy having done a little bit more overall, what Amelia did was very good. And as a character, I do prefer her.
okay. All right, yeah. I, I can agree with that.
Okay.
I'm willing to put Amelia above Izzy. I do like both characters a lot.
So the current Ranger ranking from bottom to top. Number 9, Heckle. Number 8, Zato. Number 7, Fern. Number 6, Ollie. Number 5, Ion. Number 4, Mick. Number 3, Javi. Number 2, Izzy. And number 1, Amelia. And we did it. They're ranked.
We did.
Now, the final step in a recap and rank them up is to rank the season. So, what rank out of 1 do we want to give Power Rangers Cosmic Fury?
I don't know. What out of one possible ranking, what could we give it?
I don't know. There's so many decisions.
There's so much to choose from.
It's number 1.
Yeah,
It's gonna immediately stop being number 1. Spoiler alert. I don't think there's any universe in which it's ranked above Mighty Morphin season 1. But for now, it gets to be number 1.
yeah. It has to be number one.
Yeah, because there's no other option. That's
There's
it.
literally no choice. Our hands are quite literally tied.
But folks, that's it. That's Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. We did it. Megazord Radio Cosmic Fury is finished.
It is.
So that means, folks, until Disney Plus gives us new Power Rangers goodness, where we're gonna be barreling through Mighty Morphin at a breakneck pace.
Every week.
I did have a brief thought And maybe we should explore this someday. Maybe we should do this separately for Toku Thrill, actually. This is a pitch I guess I'm doing for you. Because I was thinking like maybe I still want to change it up bi-weekly, and I had this idea, but then I thought maybe that's not good for this show, but this would be a good fun thing to do with Nightster that would fit on Toku Thrill.
Let's hear it.
The other Saban shows.
Oh, like Beetleborgs and stuff like that.
Yeah, Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, Masked Rider, those sorts of
Okay.
things. Because VR Troopers in particular, I think it's hard to find those shows in good quality. Not Beetleborgs, because Beetleborgs was on Netflix. But the other shows, they're hard to find in good quality. Like Masked Rider, I think, is still in like fucking 240p anywhere where you can find it. But recently they put VR Troopers on Tubi. So now, for like the first time ever, it's like available in HD.
Yeah. So that's.
So that what I'm saying is, I think we should review VR Troopers on Toku Thrill.
I think we should.
It'd be fun.
I do. I do really want to. I review Beetleborgs as well because that was my childhood.
That's fair.
Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs. I remember almost nothing about Beetleborgs, which is weird because I know I watched a decent amount of it. Like it was on Netflix. I know I didn't finish it or anything, but I'm pretty sure I got like almost done with the first season. And yet, I remember nothing about any of the characters except for Flabber.
Yeah, Flabber was really good. You had the female Red. I'm not
That
sure if
was
she was.
sick.
I'm not sure if she was the leader, but she was a female Red.
I think she was the leader. If I'm
Nice.
remembering right, I'm pretty sure she was. I think this might have been our first American female Toku leader, was the Red Beetleborg.
That's so cool. So we got that. The villains were pretty fun. I remember those. You had the like Jar and Nukas, Vexor, Shadowborg, and Shadowborg's
These
suit was
words these words
actually
mean nothing to me. I do not remember the villains at all.
the Shadowborg suit was the the black suit that they used as a villain for Forever Red. That's the same suit.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's quite a few Beetleborg suits that they used in that.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, it was a bunch of fucking old Beetleborg shit they used in Forever Red.
Yeah. Like that white suit that they use, and I think maybe that red one, well, definitely the green one, were all Beetleborgs. It was like a Red Ranger versus Beetleborgs film.
And they were also voiced by Legacy Rangers. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I forget who all of them are, and I definitely couldn't tell you who the ones that I know were out of the characters. But I know that Walter Jones and Catherine Sutherland voiced two of them.
Wow.
And it was also veteran Ranger actors for the rest of them. I just don't remember who.
Wait, and the leader of the villains was Venjix?
Oh yeah, yeah. They reused that name, or more realistically, they probably just forgot. And they were like, "Dude, I have this cool name, Venjix," and then they put it there. They were like, "Oh fuck, I thought of that 7 years ago too, and I just forgot about it."
It might be the same Venjix.
Maybe fan theory.
Yeah, Fanberry, General Venjix.
Dr. K
Uh,
didn't create a new virus; she just woke up a dead Beetleborg.
or maybe Venjix um went back in time.
Yeah.
It's using time force stuff because they freaking do that all the time. They hop through realities and times.
Every time I say Beetleborg, I'm tempted to say Beebleborg.
Beetleborg,
Because there's just the repetition of the bees makes me want to complete the set, and it's just a
even
fun, silly thing to say.
even better. How about Beeblebob?
Beebleborbs.
Beeblebobs.
Big bad Beebleborbs.
Bib Bab Beeblebobs.
Bib bab Beetleborb. If this
Uh,
episode was not called Power Rangers Cosmic Fury Recap and Rank 'em Up, it would be called Bib Bab People Borbs.
uh, Pitch. That's what we call the first episode of the Beeble
Yeah,
Board.
of the Beetleborgs reviews on Toku Thrill. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, we have to do that now.
But regardless, folks, I think that's about it. I think it's time to go to plugs. Or I guess, real quick, what are we talking about next time? I'm trying to remember. Birds of a Feather and Cleanup Club. That's it. I remembered. You don't even have to look it up. I'm certain I'm correct.
Yeah, next week we're covering those episodes of Mighty Morphin.
And just Mighty Morphin all the way down for the rest of time until, honestly, probably the rest of time. Considering how often Hasbro cancels Power Rangers projects, it'll be a fucking miracle if the Disney Plus show comes out.
Until we finish Mighty Morphin, that is.
Yeah,
Because there's
well,
only a
that's gonna take like a year and a half, even if Disney Plus doesn't interrupt us.
That's crazy. It's going to be that long.
Maybe I'm overselling it a little bit, but not really. Like we got 25 more episodes of season 1 and then 52 episodes of season 2 and I
25.
believe 55 of season 3 counting Alien Rangers.
That's 53. So that is 130. And how many weeks in a year?
52 and we're doing
52.
2 an episode. So yeah, it'll probably just be like a year and some change. Not
Yeah.
quite a year and a half.
Yeah, so roughly about a year, which is still pretty nuts.
Mighty Morphin is a long fucking show. That's
Oh, yeah.
the like even beyond its nature of having multiple seasons, which is something that no other Power Ranger show did until Beast Morphers, technically, because they just got tired of using Super as the naming convention, so they just said it's season 2. Uh, but yeah. So there's that, and then there's the fact that even then they're the longest seasons of Power Rangers, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's still status quo changes. Like it still becomes a different show, kind of a couple times, because like every time the cast is different, it becomes a different show. Because like a lot of the show is the cast dynamics and such. So there's gonna be power transfer in season 2. That's gonna replace half the cast and shake things up. And then there's gonna be a little mini shake up in season 3 where we get a new Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have Tommy the entire time. You're not gonna have to once Tommy is the White Ranger, you're never gonna have to worry about not having Tommy and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers again. You don't have to
True.
worry. You're pretty really once he comes back as the Green Ranger, because there's only like 3 episodes between Green No More and White Light, and I think one of them he's in as like just a guy.
Yeah, so it's not really Tommy as such that I'm gonna miss. It's the suit. It's the
Yeah, I
Green Ranger
know.
suit. Like I know that's a very petty thing. Like, oh, it's just an
I think you'll get
outfit.
over it. Like you seem to appreciate the character as well. I know you're gonna miss
Yeah,
the suit,
I
but
I do
I think you're
appreciate it.
gonna get over it and you're gonna enjoy White Ranger Tommy and Red Zeo Tommy a lot just because Tommy gets focus and Tommy is good.
Yeah, always love Tommy in any sense that he's in. Maybe except for Turbo because I haven't seen too much of that. And
We'll see how you feel about it when you get there. I was like still sad to see him go. Like I'm my hatred of Turbo Tommy is kind of exaggerated. Like he's still Tommy. It's just like the way they write him kind of it's a character assassination, but like he's still that particular aspect is a character assassination, but that's only if you think about it, because the show does not draw attention to the fact that he's ignoring all of his friends, but he is ignoring all of his friends, and it doesn't feel like a good character thing for Tommy. But when Tommy's there, he is Tommy. Like it's just like he's not as strong as he used to be, and like coming off of Zeo, where he was amazing, It was a jarring shift because Jason David Frank was done. He wanted out.
Yeah.
So like he would show up and he would do his act, and like he's still capable of doing his act, but he was not. His heart was not in it because he wanted to leave.
Yeah, so it kind of messed up there, but it's still a case of like his character will, you know, it's hard to explain. Like not liking how his character's gonna act in that season, maybe.
Yeah, I'm interested to see your perspective too on particular on White Ranger Tommy and Zeo Tommy in specific, because it's a side of Tommy you're not really familiar with because you're a big Tommy fan,
I
but your
am.
exposure to Tommy is the Green Ranger, who is Tommy when he is the new kid, and Black Dino Thunder, which is Tommy when he's the mentor.
And a
But
grizzled veteran.
you have not really interacted with Tommy as the leader of the Power Rangers, which in reality is what he was for most of his tenure. So I'm interested to see how you feel about Tommy as the leader as opposed to the roles you've seen him fill previously.
I mean, yes, it will be an interesting well, I have to again, it's really hard for me to talk my mind because I suck at wording things.
That's okay.
But it will be interesting to see more sides of a character that I'm really fond of. Yeah, that probably works.
Because I guess it's interesting because it's like it's a character trope you're familiar with and a character you're familiar with, but you've never seen the two together because you're familiar with, even when he's the right ranger, he is the red ranger character trope. He's the leader, the focus is on him, he's essentially the main character of the program, and that's the red ranger archetype, and you're very familiar with that. And you're also familiar with Tommy, but you've never seen Tommy fill the red ranger archetype, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, which it's going to be very fun to see him grow into those character types, and I'm looking forward to it.
For sure. But folks, that's a little bit of ways away. So let's go ahead and finish this episode so that future episodes can occur and we can get there someday. Nightster, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on my solo channel, Nightster, which I'm planning on uploading more videos there very soon. And you can also find me, Riely, and some other friends down at our tokusatsu channel, Toku Frill, where we discuss things like Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and all sorts. So be sure to keep an eye out.
And soon, VR Troopers and Beetleborgs.
I've seen VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, and
Masked Rider, if even
Mask
I can
Rider.
find all the episodes, because that one's really hard to find.
Yeah.
Because nobody cared about it because it was bad. Or maybe it wasn't bad. I don't know. I've only ever seen the Power Rangers crossover, which I kind of liked, and the which we will talk about on the show. So we'll get a little bit of Dex in our lives, and
We will.
the and one episode that Jack showed me that was bad. So except for the part where it's an episode where Furbus grows giant. And it seems like that was Jack's problem with it, where for me it was like everything else is bad, but Furbus growing giant is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I have no opinion on that because I don't think I've seen it.
Have you seen any of Masked Rider? Could you even picture in your head what he looks like?
No, the only Master Rider thing that I can picture is the episode of Power Rangers where he shows up
Okay,
and
so you have seen that episode.
and he really, really tries to be Tommy when it comes to his grunt noises.
Oh yeah, he's doing the ayahs kinda.
Oh, aya, aya, aya. Like I was like, dude, that sounds like Tommy. You're you're just trying to be Tommy at this point.
I feel like it's kind of weird that just like Kimberly didn't get to hang out with the Common Rider. Like, what was that plot decision? They were like, we have to have one Power Ranger stay behind for a B plot. Why? Why did you need that?
Uh, budget? I don't know.
You feel like it would cost more budget to make the separate monster part. Whereas if it was all just within the Common Rider planet, it would be less budget, you would think.
I don't know. This show does what this show does.
True.
Very little makes sense in the Power Ranger universe.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Welcome to Power Rangers, where nothing makes sense at all. But we love it anyway.
Oh, of course. And where can our listeners find you?
linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's Riely Cinematic Universe. There's so many fucking podcasts and YouTube channels on there that your brain will explode. But one particular highlight I would like to make is Big Guy, Little Guy, Let's Play channel. It's gonna be daily, very soon. You'll never go a day without at least a little bit of Riely content again, because we have our daily Let's Play channel. We do about 20 minutes per episode, and right now we do 3 a week, but very soon we're ramping it up to literally every single day. So come subscribe.
Do so.
All right, thanks for listening to Megazord Radio, folks. I've been Riely.
I've been Nightster.
And until next time, we're morphing out of here. And for the last time for about 15 years, link to Morphing Grid.